Top on the brief this morning, we begin with a devastating flood that has destroyed about 200 houses at Sabon, Gari and Zaria local government areas of Kaduna State, causing the State Emergency Management Agency to ask residents living in flood-prone areas to evacuate immediately as a result of persistent rainfall and rising water level along the riverbanks. The Executive Secretary of the agency, Mr. Usman Mazado, laments that the flood incident would have been averted if the residents had adhered to the warning of the agency and the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, for those living along flood-prone areas to vacate those places to safer areas until after the rainy season.
We have all witnessed what happened in Sabon local government, where, of course, the state government, part of its preparedness and mitigation method, try as much as it could to evacuate some certain number of people from those areas. And as we are talking to you right now, most of them that lose their shelters are now camped within Sabon local government secretariat by the state government, where adequate provision of both food and non-food items is provided, and adequate security is equally provided by the governor in order to make sure the people that are traumatized, the people that are lost their houses, settle for at least some certain days or some hours before they were taken back to their respective houses. So why do we used to have this kind of problem? And why this sudden others? Because we have already for weeks, I have personally have an interaction or interview with several TV stations. I have personally went to radio station, like in a day, you will have broadcasts from SEMA, from NEMA, from NIMET and the rest over 12 to 15 times. But why is it that we are still having these kind of challenges? The problem is we are yet to understand the essence and purpose of our lives. I keep saying it, and I told the stakeholders, I equally told the people within these front areas that the issue of security and safety is not just about the governor. It's not just because we have the governor that is hearing, because we have the governor that is always listening. We equally need to understand the fact that we need to safeguard our lives and properties.
President Bola Tinubu has sympathized with all victims of floods and communities and farmlands across the country, especially bereaved families, farmers, displaced communities, and those who have lost property. According to a statement by the Special Advisor on Media during Galali, the President received the news of a devastation with profound grief. A recent data by the National Emergency Management Agency indicates that lives have been lost, with thousands of hectares of farmlands damaged and thousands of people displaced by floods across the country. As the President emphasizes the need for concerted effort to address environmental concerns and build a more climate-resilient society. Well, let's talk security. The FCT Police Command has paraded 94 suspects allegedly involved in the killing of 2 police officers and injury to 3 others in an unprovoked attack by the proscribed Islamic movement in Nigeria, also known as Shiite, at the Wuse Market Junction in the nation's capital, Abuja. Addressing a news conference, the Commissioner of Police in charge of the FCT, Mr. Benethigwe, while reeling out statistics of other arrests made, also announced the arrest of a serving naval personnel allegedly responsible for killing the son of a former Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ishaya Ibrahim.
After the attack on the policemen, and they killed 2 policemen and wounded 4, including a woman police who were in the hospital. We took action because we can't enjoy it. If you check here, you can see what we recovered from them. Some of the cutlasses you see here are blood-stained.
But in another scenario, it's the citizens we're seeing now taking the fight to criminals, as residents of Matuzgi town under Talata Mafara local government area of Zamfara state have neutralized 8 suspected terrorists who they say attempted to invade the community. Channels Television gathered that the incident happened on Tuesday when armed bandits blocked the bridge leading into the community with the aim of attacking the residents. The residents, who were already anticipating the attack, laid an ambush and engaged the terrorists in a prolonged gun battle, according to reports. But the spokesperson of the Zamfara State Police Command, ASP Yazid Abubakar, who confirmed the development to Channels Television via telephone, said the coordinated defense by the residents resulted in the killing of 8 bandits. A federal high court sitting in Abuja and presided over by Justice Peter Lifu has approved the request of the Defense Intelligence Agency DIA to detain an assistant superintendent of police and 19 others for 30 days over the alleged involvement in banditry, kidnapping and terrorism activities. The police officer, ASP Babangida, was ordered to be detained along with other suspects for 30 days to enable the DIA operatives carry out thorough investigation into the alleged involvement in the heinous crimes. The serving police officer, who was arrested in June and had since been in DIA custody, was alleged to have been helping Boko Haram, bandits and ISWAP members in carrying out terrorism activities in some parts of the country. Away from security now, the Ministry of Finance says it has recovered over 83 billion naira through the whistleblowing policy between its inception in 2017 and 2023. Well, this was revealed in a statement after the minister, Mr. Wale Edu, announced plans by President Bola Tinubu to present the whistleblowing policy to the National Assembly for legislative action. He was speaking during a meeting in Abuja where he explained that the government expects the support of Nigerians in making the policy work towards enhancing transparency and accountability. And the federal government has assured that it is working out modalities on how to make progress with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, as both parties plan to reconvene on September the 6th. The Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, made this disclosure during an emergency meeting with ASUU officials and the management team of the National Universities Commission, barely 10 days to its planned nationwide strike. A part of the modalities worked out is the establishment of a joint committee comprising ASUU, the Ministry of Education, NUC, as well as the Ministry of Labor to escalate the implementation of all residual issues, particularly those with presidential directives.
We had very sincere and honest conversations on all the issues that are agitating the minds of the universities, and we have worked out modalities on how to make progress on them. And hopefully we see a very good window to the resolution of the issues. So we are coming back again. We're convening on 6th of September.
There are CCAPs, and we believe that we also give the government between now and our next meeting to see what they would have done on those issues. We hope that in the interest of our Nigerian students and Nigeria as a country, this issue should be amicably resolved to have a free, smooth academic system in the country, Nigeria.
Well, it's the day that the NLC president, Mr. Joe Ajero, is expected to honor the invitation by the police for interrogation on some allegations. And the Nigeria Labour Congress has directed all state chapters and affiliate members to mobilize members for prayer session, and that's what they call it, in solidarity with the NLC president, who is expected for interrogation today. The General Secretary of the NLC, Mr. Emmanuel Ogwaja, who confirmed the directive to our Labour correspondent, said the directives also instructed members from across the states to mobilize and embark on a peaceful procession to their respective state police commands and stay there until the NLC president is out of police interrogation. Let's talk subnationals now. The Kano state government has ordered the closure of all bank accounts operated by its ministries and agencies, directing that they be merged into a single treasury account. This directive was issued by the Kano state governor, Abba Kabir Yusuf, during a meeting held at the government house in Kano. Governor Yusuf explained that his decision was necessitated by the financial irregularities observed in various ministries and agencies. It states that the government is taking this step to ensure that funds are managed properly and to eliminate any avenue for financial misconduct. Well, let's talk business of communication, as the NCC, the Nigerian Communications Commission, has announced September the 14th as a final deadline for the linkage of the NIN, that's the National Identification Number, and the Subscriber Identification Model, which we all know as a SIM card. NCC spokesman Ruben Moka disclosed this in a statement directing all mobile network operators to complete the verification and linkage of SIMs to NINs by September the 14th. Mr. Moka said over 153 million SIMs have been successfully linked to their NINs. And outside the country, Telegram boss and founder Pavel Durov has been placed under formal investigation in France as part of a probe into organized crime on the messaging app. That's according to Paris prosecutors. The 39-year-old has not been remanded in custody but placed under judicial supervision and has to pay a $5.6 billion deposit. The Russian-born billionaire, who is also a French national, also has to show up at a French police station twice a week and is not allowed to leave France. And let's talk sports. Still in France, incidentally. It was a spectacular opening ceremony marking the start of the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games as athletes paraded along the iconic Champs-Élysées to the Place de la Concorde in glorious conditions. As with the Olympic Games, the Paralympics opening ceremony was held outside of a stadium for the first time in the French capital. About 4,400 athletes from a record 160 delegations are set to take part in the 22 Paralympic sports, competing for a total of 549 gold medals in Paris. Well, Nigeria will be represented by 23 athletes, 5 in athletics, 2 in badminton, 9 in powerlifting, and 8 in table tennis. So here's wishing Nigerian athletes the very best. We'll see.